Welcome the rare gems. Trying to mess with a Sigma female is like setting a trap for yourself without even realizing it. She's not the kind of person who reacts how you might expect. Instead of getting rattled, she steps back, watches things unfold, and lets you dig your own hole. The truth is, every move you make to try and hurt her only ends up turning against you. It's not that she's untouchable. It's that she's mastered the art of not letting people control her emotions. You might think you're getting the upper hand, but trust me, you're not. So if you think you can break a Sigma female, prepare yourself, because what you'll find instead is someone who rises above while you're left in the aftermath of your own actions. Let's get started, rare gems. I recommend watching the entire video for a better insight into the topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. You're fighting a battle she's not even in. Here's the thing. You think you're in some grand battle with a Sigma female, but here's the reality check. You're fighting solo. She's not even aware there's a war going on. While you're busy plotting and scheming, she's off in her own world, chasing her dreams, ticking off her goals, and living her life like you don't even exist. It's like bringing a water gun to a fight when the other person didn't even RSVP. In her mind, your attempts to hurt her are irrelevant. She's not wasting energy on your drama because, frankly, she doesn't care. You're waging this intense internal war, building your strategies and thinking you've got her cornered. But the truth is, she's not even in the arena. She's mentally checked out, already miles ahead, focusing on things that actually matter, like her ambitions, passions, and maybe a well-deserved vacation. Meanwhile, you're there, exhausted, and wondering why nothing's working. Spoiler alert, it's because she's not playing your game. She's too busy leveling up, leaving you to swing at air. It's not that she's ignoring you to be cruel. She's just got better things to do. In the end, the only person losing this battle is you. And trust me, it's hard to win when the other person never even showed up. Number 2, you'll become the proof of her strength. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, you're basically handing her a new badge of honor. While you're busy scheming, thinking you're the villain in her story, she's already moved past that. What you don't realize is that your attempts are only fueling her resilience. Instead of tearing her down, you'll just become living proof of her strength. Think about it. Every hurdle, every plot, every emotional jab will only serve as a reminder to her of how unstoppable she really is. You're not going to be her downfall, sorry, but you're not that powerful. Instead, you'll unintentionally become a chapter in her story of survival. And here's the funny part. You probably didn't sign up for that. You likely thought you'd leave a bigger impact, that your actions would matter. But in reality, you're just a stepping stone in her journey, a minor character in the background of her life while she levels up. And don't expect her to wallow or show weakness. Oh no, she'll bounce back faster than you can blink, and she'll use every bit of the nonsense you threw her way as a personal victory. She'll quietly add you to her mental "I overcame that" list and move on without giving you a second thought. So, while you were aiming to cause chaos, you've really just signed up for a front row seat to her growth. Not quite the role you expected, huh? Number 3, you'll lose control before you even realize it. When you try to hurt or control a Sigma female, you're stepping into a game that you're wildly unprepared for. The funny thing is, she's not even playing the same game as you. While you're busy plotting, throwing out emotional bait, or trying to manipulate her, she's cool, calm, and completely unfazed. She's mastered the art of staying composed, and that patience isn't just a survival skill, it's a strategy. You'll be throwing punches, but she's not even in the ring. What you won't realize until much later is that she's already won, and the irony? She didn't have to lift a finger. While you were busy unraveling, thinking you had the upper hand, she's just watched you from a distance, quietly positioning herself. The control you thought you had? It was never really yours. By the time it dawns on you, she's miles ahead, and you're left chasing after something you never truly grasped. Here's the kicker. She doesn't play into drama, react with anger, or give you the satisfaction of a scene. No, that's far too easy. Instead, she moves in silence, letting you self-destruct while she quietly exits the situation with her dignity intact. You'll lose control without even realizing it, and when you finally do, it'll be too late to fix anything. It's like trying to catch smoke. By the time you think you've got it, it's already slipped through your fingers. Thank you, Rare Gems, for being a valued subscriber. Your continued support is incredibly important to us and inspires us to keep producing meaningful content. We truly appreciate your engagement and dedication. Number 4. Her next success will crush your ego. What's going to sting the most is when you realize that your attempts to bring down a Sigma female didn't just fail. They backfired in the most spectacular way. You thought you could hurt her, maybe knock her off course. But instead, her next success will shine like a glaring spotlight on just how little impact you actually had. While you're left nursing your wounded ego, she'll be out there thriving, completely unbothered. Here's the kicker. She won't even acknowledge your attempts to tear her down. She'll move on so swiftly and so successfully, it'll be like you never even existed. And that's the part that's going to burn the most. Her next big move, whether it's a career leap, personal growth, or just living her best life, will be a quiet yet crushing blow to your ego. It's like being on the sidelines, watching the person you tried to sabotage win the game without even noticing you. You'll be left grappling with the realization that your efforts were not only futile, but also completely irrelevant to her. She's already forgotten you while you're stuck replaying your failed attempts. The silent devastation of seeing her thrive without you, despite your best efforts to hurt her, will linger long after she's moved on to bigger and better things. The truth is, her success will only highlight your insignificance, and that realization is going to sting. Number 5. Your need to control will backfire as obsession. The harder you try to control or hurt a Sigma female, the more tangled you'll get in your own web. She has this way of getting under your skin, not because she's playing any games, but because of her unshakable resilience. While you're busy trying to manipulate or break her, something strange happens. You start thinking about her more and more. Before you know it, she's taken up residence in your mind, and not in the way you hoped. You wanted control, but all you've done is become obsessed. The irony is almost poetic. The more you push, the more obsessed you become with her strength. She's not falling apart like you expected. In fact, she's thriving. And that drives you crazy. She's calm, collected, and living her life without a care for your attempts to rattle her while you're spiraling, wondering why nothing is working. Her resilience becomes your fixation. And that's where the real backfire happens. You'll never break her, but in trying so hard, you'll break yourself. The need for control will consume you, and instead of achieving your goal, you'll be left trapped in an endless loop of frustration. Meanwhile, she's free, untouched by your efforts, leaving you to deal with the consequences of your own obsession. It's a vicious cycle, one that you unknowingly created. Number 6. She'll repurpose the chaos you create. When you try to throw chaos at a Sigma female, you're basically handing her raw materials to build something even more powerful. She's like a master recycler of emotional energy. Whatever drama or mess you think you're creating, she'll take it, break it down, and turn it into something that works in her favor. What you intended as a storm to throw her off balance becomes the very fuel that strengthens her. It's a skill not everyone has. While most people might crumble under pressure or get caught up in the chaos, she's quietly repurposing the wreckage you tried to create. You think you're causing havoc, but she's already 2 steps ahead, using your chaos to make herself even more resilient. The best part? She'll emerge from it all looking stronger than ever, while you're left floundering in the mess you thought would bring her down. She has this uncanny ability to turn the tables without you even realizing it. By the time you see the results, it's too late. You've become a distant memory in her upward journey, while you're left wondering how things fell apart. Except it's not her life that's crumbling. She's built something unshakable from the chaos you created, and you're the one left struggling to stay afloat in the mess. Number 7. She makes you question your own identity. Trying to tear down a Sigma female is like holding up a mirror to yourself, and what you see won't be pretty. She has such a strong sense of self that when you try to attack her, you're not actually shaking her foundation. Instead, you're forced to confront all the ways you don't measure up. It's like trying to chip away at a rock with a feather. You put in all this effort, but the only thing that cracks is your own image of yourself. The thing about a Sigma female is She doesn't just who she is, she's confident in it. That's what makes it so uncomfortable when you try to hurt her. While she's standing solid, you start questioning why you even felt the need to break her down in the first place. Spoiler: it's probably because you're dealing with your own self-worth issues. In your attempt to expose her flaws, you'll quickly realize that what's actually being exposed is your own insecurities. It's like throwing punches in a shadow boxing match, except the person you're really fighting is yourself. And here's the kicker: she won't even have to say a word. Just by being herself, she forces you to face the inadequacies you've been ignoring. So in the end, your mission to tear her down turns into a painfully awkward journey of self-reflection. And trust me, that's not the battle you thought you'd be fighting. Number 8. She learns fast and won't fall for the same trick twice. If by some miracle you manage to hurt a Sigma female once, congratulations. You've just used up your one and only shot. She's not the kind of person who falls for the same trick twice. In fact, once she spots your toxic patterns, she'll adapt so quickly it'll make your head spin. Think of her as a mental ninja, swift, precise, and absolutely unforgiving when it comes to lessons learned. The first time you try to hurt her, it might sting. She might even give you the benefit of the doubt for a minute, but once she sees the game you're playing, the door is slammed shut and you're locked out for good. Don't even think about trying again. You'll be permanently exiled from her life. No parole, no second chances. She won't announce it with some dramatic exit either. She'll just quietly disappear, leaving you wondering when exactly you lost access. Here's the funny part. While you're still figuring out how to run the same tired game, she's already upgraded. She's moved on, fortified her defenses, and you're stuck outside the walls wondering how it all went south so fast. You'll never get to pull the same stunt again because, frankly, she won't let you anywhere near her. So go ahead and congratulate yourself for hurting her once. Just don't expect a repeat performance. Sigma females don't do reruns, and they sure don't waste time on people who show their true colors once the mask slips. Number 9. You'll be forgotten faster than you think. If by some miracle you manage to hurt a Sigma female once, congratulations. You've just used up your one and only shot. She's not the kind of person who falls for the same trick twice. In fact, once she spots your toxic patterns, she'll adapt so quickly it'll make your head spin. Think of her as a mental ninja, swift, precise, and absolutely unforgiving when it comes to lessons learned. The first time you try to hurt her, it might sting. She might even give you the benefit of the doubt for a minute. But once she sees the game you're playing, the door is slammed shut, and you're locked out for good. Don't even think about trying again. You'll be permanently exiled from her life. No parole, no second chances. She won't announce it with some dramatic exit either. She'll just quietly disappear, leaving you wondering when exactly you lost access. Here's the funny part. While you're still figuring out how to run the same tired game, she's already upgraded. She's moved on, fortified her defenses, and you're stuck outside the walls wondering how it all went south so fast. You'll never get to pull the same stunt again because, frankly, she won't let you anywhere near her. So go ahead and congratulate yourself for hurting her once. Just don't expect a repeat performance. Sigma females don't do reruns, and they sure don't waste time on people who show their true colors once the mask slips. Number 10. She'll make you feel irrelevant. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, you'll quickly discover something that stings more than any retaliation. She'll make you feel completely irrelevant. It's not that she's trying to be cruel or vengeful. It's that she genuinely doesn't care enough to engage. And that right there is where the real pain sets in. You expected drama, maybe a heated response, but instead you get nothing. It's like throwing a tantrum in an empty room. Her ability to disengage is her superpower. While you're stewing, waiting for a reaction, she's living her life as if you don't even exist. The silence? It's not passive-aggressive. It's the sound of you no longer mattering. And that, more than any confrontation, will gnaw at your ego. You'll start to realize that you're not even a footnote in her story, and that's when it hits you. You're invisible to her. She's not wasting energy on you, and that's what makes it worse. A Sigma female knows how to move forward without looking back. Your attempts to hurt her will fade into the background of her life, while you're stuck obsessing over why nothing you did seemed to matter. Spoiler alert, it didn't. She's already onto bigger and better things, leaving you to wrestle with the harsh truth of your own irrelevance. In the end, trying to hurt a Sigma female is like trying to punch a brick wall. You're the one who'll end up bruised. She's built differently, with a resilience that turns every attempt to break her into fuel for her growth. Your efforts to control, manipulate, or sabotage her will only highlight your own weaknesses. While you're busy plotting, she's quietly adapting, evolving, and moving on without looking back. What makes it even tougher is that she doesn't waste energy on revenge or petty games. She won't engage in a battle of egos. Instead, she'll take the chaos you throw at her, repurpose it for her own success, and leave you behind wondering how you became so irrelevant in her life. And the harsh truth? By the time you realize the backfire, it'll be too late. She'll have already leveled up, and you'll be left dealing with the fallout of your own actions while she thrives. Trying to hurt a Sigma female isn't just a losing battle, it's one where you're the only one who ends up getting hurt. Thank you, Rare Gems, for tuning in. Stay vigilant as always. See you in our next video. God bless you.